First of all, yes, the hair is gone. Couldn't handle it. This week, it's that time of the year again. We're after Thanksgiving now, and it's time to start planning for the Zony Awards. I'm also going to talk a little bit about Ndamukong Suh. I'm going to give you my Week 12 and the start of Week 13's picks. And yes, those of you who have been at the toe know that there have been a few changes. I will be discussing that in my fourth and goal this week. I am the Trubl Zone. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Good morning on the West Coast. Good afternoon on the East Coast. And right here in the heart of the Midwest, you're in the Red Zone.
So right at night, your man is high on life. I arrive the same way. Now I'll decide. Seen said to get back all the things we left behind. Step back, I'm coming inside. Alright, not here to start a fight. Are you receiving me?
It's that time of the year again. It's time to start planning for the Zony Awards. Giving you the first category right now. You can vote on Facebook. Just type The Trubl Zone, Trubl space Zone in your search box on Facebook. Bring you right to the page. It's right there on the wall. Team of the year. The nominees are the Green Bay Packers, 2011 Super Bowl champions and currently undefeated. The St. Louis Cardinals, 2011 World Series champions. The Los Angeles Galaxy, 2011 MLS Cup champions, the Boston Bruins, 2011 Stanley Cup champions, and the guys who aren't playing right now, the Dallas Mavericks, the 2011 NBA champions. Again, you can vote for those on our Facebook page. Next week, I'm probably coming out with 2, maybe even 3 categories for you to hit, so keep an eye out up there on the Facebook page, and of course, right here in the Red Zone. This isn't going to be a really long show. Of course, you know, it's a holiday week. I'm going to hit most of my major stuff, but I'm leaving a few of the extras out. As you notice, there's no high-low this week. Pick of the litter. The Pooch says that not to start him. He's down with a bad fly bug. But seriously, though, he is on the DL sick. I do want to talk about Ndamukong Suh, who's really gone way too far. I throw around the term classless goon a lot on this show, but let's be honest, Ndamukong Suh is a classless goon. He stomped Evan Dietrich Smith's arm in a 27-15 loss on Thursday. Look, dude, if you're going to be frustrated with the people on your team who aren't doing their jobs. Don't start hurting people on the other team just because you're a crybaby and don't know how to control your temper. He came out, made no apologies for it in the post-game press conference, and came out the next day and was like, oh, well, I shouldn't have done that. It was unprofessional. Yeah, guess what? You're still going to get a fine and probably a suspension. Quit trying to mitigate the punishment by giving a false apology. All right? That was the fakest, most pathetic attempt at an apology I've ever heard. And Ndamukong Suh needs at least a 5, if not a 7-game suspension for his actions in that situation, let alone the rest of this season. My Week 12-13 picks. As I said, this is going to be a short week. This is a short episode this week. I'll be back bad and better than ever next week. Sunday, taking the Falcons over the Vikings. That is my first lock of the week. Look, the Falcons have not inspired me this year. They have not impressed me. Hence why they are now called the Falcons, because they fail epically. But it's the Vikings. The Vikings are horrible, and even Matty Twice and how horrible they've looked this season compared to last season should be able to wipe the floor with them. I'm also wanting to remind the Indianapolis Dolts that Sunday is officially Cammer time. I'm taking the Panthers over the Dolts. Let's be honest, I can call them the Dolts. They cannot blame all of their problems on Peyton Manning being gone. Peyton Manning is not a member of the defense. The defense has yet to stop a touchdown, I believe. I'm also taking the Bungles over the Browns. Pretty equally matched, but I think the Bungles are just that much better. Taking the Bills over the Jets. Mark Sanchez and Rex Ryan now infighting. I see the Bills just coming in and easily taking care of business with that distraction. Taking the Texans over the Jags, that is another lock. So there's your three locks. Falcons over Vikings. The Carolina Cammers over the Indianapolis Dolts. And the Texans over the Jags. Taking the Bucks over the Titans. Hasselbeck's Titans are not impressing me. They're not. I think they've got a long way to go. I'm also taking the Bucks over the... Oh, excuse me, I just said that, didn't I? Yeah, the Bucks over the Titans. Texans over Jags. Rams over the Desert Rats. Look, these are two horrible teams from the worst division in the NFL, but I think the Rams are due. That's really the only way I can pick that one. Who's due for a win? I think it's the Rams. I'm taking the Skins over the Sea Chickens. We all know I hate Mike Shanahan, but the Sea Chickens are horrible, just like everybody else in the NFC West, with the exception of the San Francisco 49ers. I'm taking the Bears over the Raiders. To be honest, that's probably a bad call on my part, but I have faith in the Bears. Kind of a coming home party for... No, it's not. Never mind. I'm still recuperating from the holiday. Not quite awake. But I'm taking the Bears over the Raiders. I just think they're a better team. Despite the fact that they have a injured quarterback, I just think it's a better team. Taking the Pats over Philadelphia. Easy. Taking the Chargers over the Broncos. Again, could go either way. Depends on if the Chargers defense falls apart in the fourth quarter like 90% of everybody else the Broncos face. Taking the Steelers over the Chiefs. Easy. I don't make any bones about it. The Chiefs are horrible this year. I'm taking the Saints over the Giants on Monday Night Football. I think that's a pretty easy call. And on Thursday Night Football on the NFL Network, I'm taking Philadelphia over the Sea Chickens. Again, Philadelphia is horrible, but so are the Sea Chickens, and it's... Pick your poison, folks. Pick your poison. This week's fourth and goal. Those of you who follow everything that goes on at the toe, that being the Pigeon Toe NFL blog, noticed we have a new graphic, and noticed a farewell from Carlos Sandoval. I am now in charge of the Pigeon Toe. Him, Neil, and Josh Wack have gone to another blog. Requires a few less hours, allows them to get their studies done as they're all college students. I am converting the Pigeon Toe into an all-sports resource. My younger brother will be coming in handling Major League Baseball and, of course, the ties to minor league baseball. And Jay Rich, the graphics artist for the Trubl Zone, will also be coming in handling the graphics for the Trubl Zone, as well as handling Major League Soccer and international soccer with English Premier League and the World Cup. A lot of you probably didn't expect that, because I think soccer is the biggest baby sport on the planet, but I'll still be here. I'll still be covering everything that I can talk smack on. You know it's going to be here on the Red Zone. For Carlos, Neil, and Wack, I wish them best of luck. And, of course, I'll almost bet they'll be making random appearances here in the zone and on the toe as contributors. Kind of gonna miss my constant verbal sparring with Josh Wack, but these things happen. So I am now in charge at the toe. And we're gonna do everything in our power in this new administration to make it an all-encompassing sports site. And I think we're making the few correct first steps with bringing in somebody who knows the Major League Baseball like the back of his hand, understands stats, is very well versed in sabermetrics, in my younger brother, and then of course bringing in Jay Rich, who is a soccer fanatic, probably because he lives in California, and, let's be honest, man, sports don't really exist out there. They just now got a really good football team out of the San Francisco 49ers. So, big changes. I will be back next week. Hopefully we'll start seeing some of them big changes come up. Wow, this was a short show. I cannot even believe it was this short. I honestly feel like this was an epic fail for me, but again, it's a holiday week. Most of you probably are half asleep from eating too much turkey. The tryptophan is putting you to sleep, and you're not even hearing a word I say right now. So, With that being said, for the departing Carlos Sandoval, Neil Tillman, and Josh Wack, and for all of us here in the Trubl Zone and the new Pitch and Toe, Zone out.